Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my reading and my channel. This is going to be a reading for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising and or Ascendant signs for the month of October 2019. I'm going to tune in with the guides first of all. We're going to pull some tarot cards just to confirm some information. Maybe pull a few oracle cards as well at the end. So let's see what's coming up with Tauruses in general for the general collective for October 2019. That's Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs. They're talking here about against all odds. So I feel like people could have been having a bit of a hard time. It's like someone's been battling through something. It's like you could be the only person who sees or feels a certain thing, who has been seeing and understanding a situation or realizing a reality within a situation, but it's like your truth is not being heard. You're not able to kind of, or this has previously been you haven't been able to sort of almost speak your truth where people will listen. But I feel like that's changing. It's like someone is really standing their ground here and starting to really kind of trust their gut instincts. Trusting your gut instinct is going to be very important, but it's like you're beating the odds of what people had expected. You know, maybe how you expected things to go, or maybe even, you know, someone else had expected things to go, but it's like someone is beating the odds here. So this is a very strong energy coming through. This could be in several different areas. I feel like in terms of career, this is definitely an option. It's like something's being offered, but they're giving me four, as if this is a fourth time something has happened, either in where people haven't listened or maybe within a career situation. They're also talking, this could also be about love, where maybe someone hasn't given you an option or a choice, and maybe they're going to start listening now in October. But also I'm getting a strong sense of justice and a revealing. So there is something that's going to be revealed. I feel like if it hasn't already happened around the 28th of September, which was the new moon, it could be around the full moon on the 13th of October. And if not, going into Scorpio seasons from sort of the 23rd of October into the end of the month, potentially even into November, this is all going to start kind of unraveling and being revealed. But it's like there's a tower moment happening in order for new growth, in order for a new path, in order for an established way or a theory or a vision to be realized. Okay, so again, if this is only you that's having to sort of speak this information and no one else is listening, and then suddenly the tower happens and people start listening to you, then just stand your ground until that point. You know, keep your faith, keep sticking to your instincts. Especially if you've had like lots of synchronicities around you that have confirmed your information. I mean, obviously, if you're having doubts and you haven't really had any synchronicity sort of information given to you, then maybe double check that information, because there is a balance that's also needed during this month. But there's a lot of very deep emotional connections happening for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venuses that are going to be developing. It's like there's two groups. One of you, I feel one group is definitely going to come into union, and there's also another group here that I feel like needs a little bit more time, where the sort of the seeds are sort of almost ready to bear fruit, but it's not quite time, mainly because there needs to be a bit of healing. So if this doesn't come to you at the end of the month, I would be focusing on your own healing between now and then, because I feel like it's going to be very useful. Okay, so I'm going to pull a spread here and read the energy. So what is the most important message for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for October 2019, please? What's the most important insight you can give for Taurus Sun? One moment, just putting the cards out. Okay, so this is the first scenario. These cards all came out together. Okay, so there's a very... One second, I'm trying to take all this in. Someone is ready to make an offer to you, but you need to watch that this is a viable, realistic offer, that there is no illusion, that there is no secrecy or something hidden, and that it is a truthful, heartfelt offer, because we've got the Chariot, the Seven of Swords, the Moon, and the Eight of Wands here. So it feels like it's coming in quite focused and direct. But with the moon and the Seven of Swords, I think you need to be double checking this information here, because I don't know how realistic it is. It feels like, because the Nine of Pentacles also followed it, so it feels like this person hasn't quite thought through the reality of the situation. And I don't know why, but I feel like there's a bit of an empty promise coming. So if this is you, just be very aware. Again, because we've also got the Magician, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So I don't know if I'm happy with this energy. It's almost like someone is trying to wait until a good time to make a very focused effort. They might be doing a bit of spying here to make a focused effort about offering someone something. But I don't know how feasible it is, because this is exactly how they told me to put the cards. But we've got the Chariot, the Seven of Swords, the Moon, and the Eight of Wands. And then underneath it, we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Magician. And then they wanted me to put this in the middle, which is the Nine of Pentacles. If someone is making an offering towards you this month, okay, that has previously let you down, okay, don't rush in too quick, because I don't know how feasible this is, because the Magician's coming up, and the Moon, and the Seven of Swords. So can you give me, yeah, look, the Ace of Swords in reverse came up here. So you're going to know who this is. This is not going to be a surprise. I feel like, let me just clarify this. Yeah. This could also involve a third party. Because they've got choices, but there's competition here. But someone's rushing in very quickly with this offer, but I don't know if I want to trust it. It's like they're not ready. They have to phase something else out before you. It's going to be one of two things. Either this person, definitely you've got to be very careful of, because the Magician card came out, and I don't know how truthful the intentions are. The second group, and also they've done this before, the second group, there is actually something feasible with this, but they're not quite ready, and they're coming forward in a little bit of a manipulative energy. Because the Empress card came out, it could be a divine union. So just, you need to watch for that, because they're not ready, and it's like they're coming in with these half-baked ideas that I don't think they can follow through, and the spirit don't want you to get hurt. But it's like, can you give me more insight into this situation, please? Yeah, there's a bit of a manipulative energy going on here. We've got the King of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Until they move away from that energy where this offer isn't particularly solid, they might be a little bit kind of there's a little bit of creativeness to the words they're using. I don't know if I fully did you see that? It literally, something is just coming through my window, and it's like one of those flying things, and it's just literally ran at my face. I don't know what they're called. It's like a what's it called? Can't remember what they're called, but I would say that's a sign. Like, just be aware. Just be aware that, I don't know, I feel like that it's like they don't know how to approach you in a truthful way. Now, is the energy bad overall? No, I don't think they're a bad person. I just think that they've got to clear a little bit of energy around them here. But I feel like this is going to come in quick. Until they move away from what it is they move away from, especially if they're in a third party situation, there is not going to be anything solid with this. But we've got the Four of Cups, the Fool, Illumination, which is Judgment, and the Ten of Pentacles. So something very quick is happening with this scenario, because they want to break free of the current situation they're in. And I feel like they're going to come into this realization that their future is with you. That's for the people that have had synchronicity where this person is definitely 1000% in their future. But you've also got a group that's going to be watching here that I'm not entirely sure of, because again, yeah, we've just got the Ace of Swords come out in reverse. So Spirit, how can we find out who is trustworthy and who isn't? Like, how do we know who is going to be trustworthy and who isn't? Like, how can we determine? If they have not moved away from that third party, okay, and they haven't had that, I would not be betting. You need to be removing yourself from third party situations, full stop. Do not count on anything that is involving a third party situation where you're the other woman or you're in a relationship. Just don't rely on anything that has that energy, because it's not solid. Like, there's a deception there. And obviously, if this is you and you can't relate to the third party situation, then, but you're sitting there thinking, well, you know, that they've never deceived me before, it's always been straightforward. Guys, I'm really sorry, but just be aware. This is not, because I feel like it's like they're being a little bit, the truth is being a little bit kind of watered down. That's kind of the best way I want to say it. Okay, so just be aware. All right, and then, yeah, we just need to sort of wait this energy out. This is the thing, because we're in Libra season, I feel like this energy is a little bit all over the place, and I feel like this energy wants to come in and make a solid offer, but it's like they're not ready and they don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss out. But look, the Tower has to happen, okay, with the third party first, okay? Now, if you don't, because we've got the High Priestess here and the Tower, if you don't relate to a third party situation, then there's something that you know deep down that has to be phased out before this can come in. Spirit is saying, you know what that means. High Priestess. If you're sat here saying, I don't know what that means, and excuse me if I look like I'm burping, it's because I'm trying not to absorb the negative energy. But when I do, sounds awful, I recycle it and it comes out in a burp, and obviously I don't want to burp on video, so apologies for the weird faces. Once this is completed, the Ace of Cups, new beginning, emotional fulfillment, a brand new emotional love, interest, connection, development of a pre-existing situation can start, but something needs to be phased out first. Don't take less than what you deserve. Do not take less than what you deserve. Even if you've had the worst journey of all, okay, and it's like you're just wanting this to come together, they're just showing me the Two of Cups in reverse. So there's something, it's like there's a partnership that wants to reconnect, but it's, where did that fly? Yeah, it's like a little bit of defensive energy here. The defenses need to come down a little bit. Things need to kind of soften and rebalance a little bit here, but there needs to be a bit of space to do that, especially if there's a third party. Yeah, because look, Queen of Wands, third party energy. This could be the other woman. So it could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. It could also be the other woman. Do not entertain this, because it's gonna. It's almost like the connection. If it is a divine one, you don't compromise for something that's always going to come to you anyway. And look, Seven of Cups with the King of Cups. This person has other options. Can you confirm? Yeah. Look, we've got the Tower and the High Priestess again. So the other woman, this needs to be totally, either this is actually going to blow up with the other woman in terms of this is going to actually be phased out this month and into completion, okay, in which point the King of Cups can step forward for this union, but he does have other options and he's trying to bide his time. Or this needs to be phased out, okay? This needs to be phased out before anything else can come in. What is the outcome from this situation, please? What is the outcome for this situation, please, for October for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising? What is the outcome? Seven of Pentacles came out, so it might be that this might travel into November time, because the Seven of Pentacles came out, where it's almost like it's not quite ready, it's not quite ripe. So even if you're seeing issues with the karmic, if this is a divine connection, or you're seeing issues here, and you know it just needs to be phased out, because they look, again, we've got competition. Don't invest in something where there's other parties here. It's not worth it. It's gonna, what other insight outcome can you give us for the situation? Yeah, look, once that phases out, Ten of Swords, you can come into union, okay? But until then, don't even entertain it, because it's like, again, I feel like there's a bit of a false start otherwise. It's like there's a false start with it, and it's just people getting their hopes up. So hopefully that's helped. Is there anything else that they need to be aware of with this situation, please, Spirit? Anything else? Any other insight? Yeah, look, the Empress in reverse. So again, you guys, or whoever's viewing this, if you're not the Empress, or if you're not the Divine Feminine, or maybe you're you know, maybe you're male and you're watching this and you identify as the Divine Feminine, just take it how it resonates. The Empress in reverse, it's like something needs to be healed before, on your end also, before this can come into. So it's not just they're up to them to phase out the third party. There could also be something that you guys are also needing to phase out or resolve. It could be that you guys also have another option that you're looking at, because you've got the Two of Wands here with the Page of Pentacles. Clarify Two of Wands, please. Yeah, there's definitely an outcome here. Ten of Cups, which is emotional, you know, very deep emotional commitment, and a very kind of solid emotionally invested divine connection that is very emotionally fulfilling. But we've got Six of Wands, Eight of Swords, and Three of Swords. So this needs to be phased out before anything else can happen, and you need to do some healing as well before this can also come together. So I'm hoping that's helped. And let's see, any other messages, please, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus for October 2019. Any other messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? Yeah, look, I don't like the energy. There's something a little bit, it could be that because the Devil cards come out, it's like, maybe it could be this person has addictions. It could be that there's a codependent behavior that they're demonstrating. It could be that they have an attachment to certain things that also needs to be phased out. It could be the karmic or the third party, but it could also be substance abuse. It could be, I'm not saying that it is, I'm just saying if this resonates with you, then this could apply also. Until that is looked at and sort of more low vibrational energies is cleansed out, then the Ace of Cups can't come in, okay? So again, with them coming forward, we need to be, because this, excuse the aeroplane flying over. Now, interestingly, we've got the Knight of Swords here, so this is coming in quick. So they could be travelling to see you, because that aeroplane was extraordinarily loud. It was flying over my house, even though there's no major airports near here. There's a smaller airport near. There's a small airport like locally, but that was it sounded like a larger plane. If someone is looking to travel towards you and they still have that third party around them, I'd be a little wary. Make sure that they've phased out anything there. Maybe any third parties, you know, anything that I mentioned before. Yeah. There is a love offering or potentially even an apology coming in also, because we've got the Page of Cups. Okay, but we've also got the Queen of Cups. So we pulled the King of Cups earlier. Now we've got the Queen of Cups. That's the counterpart. So it could potentially be divine union here. But there needs to be healing, as I mentioned before, okay, because we've got the Temperance card. All right. And also the Five of Pentacles here. So there's an emotional loss in amongst all of this that needs time to heal. And it can take a little extra time because Hermit, you know, both parties may need to go within to find their own inner light. Okay, the moon could also be significant on the 13th, the full moon, because again, we can see the moon in the background, but also we've got the Hangman. So there's a few bits and pieces in the balance here. Okay, now I'm going to do an extended reading on this. All right, so if you are interested, it's going to be £11.11. send me an email. PayPal will be in the description box as well, but just make sure you email me asking for the Taurus extended reading. We're going to go into potentially any blocks, the person's heart center, maybe their headspace, and also outcomes as well. If you're interested, email me. If that doesn't interest you and this didn't resonate with you, then I'll pull you a few oracle cards. I'm going to pull an oracle card first of all from the Wisdom of Avalon deck. That's by Colette Baron Reed. And then I'm going to pull also a couple of Earth Magic oracle cards as well. Okay, so Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for October 2019. What can you tell us, Spirit? Outcome, please. Outcome for October 2019. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, please. What can you tell us? Whoa, that's way too many cards. What can you tell us, please? I'm going to take this one. Interesting. Okay, there's loads of cards that came out. One sec. Okay, so we've got the king. We pulled the king. Okay, so again, could be divine masculine here. Man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law, justice. Something is going to be rebalancing here. Okay, we've also got trust. Okay, so make sure you're having trust in the universe. Make sure that you're listening to your intuition. Okay, keeping that optimistic nature, because again, we've got creative action and optimism. We've also got the horse, which is accepting help from another and delegating authority, but also disruption. So again, it's kind of reaffirming what we've already mentioned here, where we just need to be a little bit aware of accepting anything when it's not quite ready, and maybe we need to do some work as well. Okay, I'm also going to pull some oracle cards from Earth Magic deck, which is by Stephen D. Farmer. Let's see, what's the outcome please for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for October 2019. What's the outcome please? That flying thing's ready to dart towards my head again. I don't know, my window's open, so it's probably seen the light and come in, ironically. Okay, so sorry, I'll tidy that up in a minute. It's just that's so bad, I just threw that. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It's because I need to close that window. I'm going to have all kinds of creepy crawlies in my room. Ah, that's such a lovely card. How lovely is this card? Lotus flower unfoldment. I have to read this. I'm going to have to read this. This is such a nice card. Unfoldment. Okay. This is lovely. Okay, so it says, the lotus flower sits upon one of its leaves, having risen to the surface as the sun, held in the hand of God, invites it upwards to the light. This unique plant is rooted in the mud and muck at the bottom of a body of water, its stem reaching up to the surface where the leaves rest quietly. At night, the flower closes and sinks below the surface, only to rise with the daylight and once again gradually unfolding its petals, its stem extending above the waterline 3 feet or more. What we learn from this amazing plant is how our own spiritual path unfolds and opens to the light, then at times gently folds in on itself for a proper rest when the daylight fades. This period is just as necessary as the growth, for it allows the plant to integrate what it has gained in nourishment throughout the day. It is also just as important that it is rooted, and it is yet another miracle of nature that something so exquisitely beautiful is formed from the mud and silt at the water's bottom. Your spiritual unfoldment is occurring at all times, whether or not you are aware of it. It is inevitable as long as you put your trust in the hands of the Creator, the one who holds the light. Like the lotus, your soul is always reaching for the light to fulfill its karmic destiny, but even in that process there's always periods of darkness and times to rest. It is a natural cycle, one that truly cannot be coerced or halted. It has an innate rhythm of its own, one that is unique to the being that is you. You do not need to strive or be driven by spiritual ambition. It does no good to try to force growth upon others or yourself, for that matter. Allowing is the key here. Allow the place in you that naturally wants to follow the light to do so, while recognizing that even when you have complete faith, you will face challenges and occasionally suffering. Your steady faith and love will guide you on your journey of returning to the light. That's lovely. Oh, that's so lovely. I love these cards. How many times can I say lovely in one sentence? Okay, last card. Any other insight messages, please, for Taurus? That's a lovely card. I'm buzzing from that. I love lotus flowers as well. Any other message? That is absolutely huge. I keep drawing my attention to that. Any other messages? This is so funny. It's just sat right next to my camera now. It's like a flying spider. In fact, let me see. There's got to be a meaning for this. What is it? Is it a daddy long legs? Daddy long legs? Spiritual. I think it is. It's just literally sat next to the daddy long legs. It's literally sat next to the webcam. It's not even moving. This is interesting. So daddy long legs, it says weaving deeper relationships. Several insects and spiders have been known as daddy long legs. Although the term is associated with the crane fly, it is also used to describe the spider we're referring to here. The daddy long legs, as with all spiders, spins silk. When it appears, something new is being spun in a relationship, usually the weaver of a deeper relationship with a loved one. New harmony and balance are strong around us and our activities with others right now. Where there is one daddy long leg spider, great. There is usually many more nearby. Great, need to close the window. Indicating our success in endeavours now is achieved best by working with others. The long legs are the spider's significant characteristic. In addition to enabling movement, legs on insects and arachnids serve a variety of functions. It indicates what we sense about a relationship, personal or business, is what we hope. Now is the time to move and grasp it, a wonderful time to start something new. When daddy long legs appears, it always indicates a greater vision of what is happening on many levels, what may be only superficially noticed, if at all, by others. Daddy long legs indicates increased awareness of what is going on around us, with approved ability to move in response to our perceptions. The appearance of daddy long legs signals we must trust what we perceive is going on behind the scenes. Yes. Do you remember that high priestess card? When daddy long legs appears, we can expect a surprise. New understanding, creativity and ideas are flowing, especially in relationships. Now is the time for deeper exploration of these relationships so we can achieve greater harmony and reach our goals. That's pretty cool. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that's been of some help. If I'm obviously not hearing from you about this extended reading, then you know I'll be posting tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you are obviously purchasing an extended reading, then again, thank you so much for listening and watching. It is massively appreciated. If you haven't already liked the video, then I would appreciate it. Excuse me, my computer's telling me to do an update. Yeah, and if you haven't already subscribed, then I'd love for you to subscribe. If you have, then thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus video. And yeah, take care. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.